Yeah, so since joining and the former founders leaving, I think there's two main challenges that Improve faces. One is going to be a frantic pace of technology changes, so our company needs to keep at pace with changing technologies, innovations, and on a very broad scale, so it requires a lot of development to do. And secondly, I think a lot of our advertisers, the ultimate clients that are paying the budgets, are struggling with whether the technology ecosystem actually helps them do better business with advertising and whether it's transparent enough. So the market, and that's not just Improve, the entire market is worrying and working on transparency as well. Yeah, so Improve, historically and for 9 years already, has worked for publishers and content owners to maximize their revenue. And we do that basically in two ways. We provide a lot of technical components, a platform, SSP, header bidding, server-to-server integrations, all kinds of technologies combined with our people's expertise, building a solution that helps them on a daily basis to optimize the income from their inventory. Yeah, a good and very actual question. I think if you look around here at DMExco, you'll see everybody's talking about transparency. But in essence, I think it's very important to break down transparency into three different topics. One of the important topics that you'll see everywhere now is indeed verification, as you say. Verification, in my mind, basically a few things. It's making sure that actual humans are looking at the advertising, so no botnets, no fraud. It's also making sure that your ad is actually seen on the page, so that's what everybody would call viewability. Is your ad way down the page and has nobody's actually seen the ad? That would be really bad, so we want to make sure ads are on the screen. And I think the third one is making sure that the ad is being displayed in a safe environment, so you're sure as an advertiser that you're not amongst bad content, questionable videos, or really questionable websites. So verification is a big domain, and we work with our own technologies, but also external technologies to verify those kinds of components to make sure that it's not just us saying we believe it's viewable, but we actually also see that third parties are measuring and reporting on how good our inventory is. Second point in verification is that you need to verify inventory only if you're not sure about what's happening there. So I think if you look at, there's basically two types of publishers in the world. One is a group of publishers everybody knows, CNN.com, the Daily Telegraph.uk. You know, those are well-known brands. And if you know that your ad is going to go on their homepage, there's no question about the quality and the viewability of it. There's also a big lot of long tail or open exchange websites where you might actually not know where your ad's turning up. And those areas are more dangerous, obviously, than the more premium websites. And I think not by chance, but certainly something we're really proud of is that Improve has, for its entire existence, basically only represented high-quality premium websites. So the chances of true, let's say, fraud, viewability issues, or questionable content with us is certainly a lot less than with some of the other players in the market. One of the reasons that I think also Procter & Gamble recently told the market they're going to remove a lot of budget from the market as well is that from a buying point of view, you want to know that all of your money actually ends up with the publisher that you're working with. Mm-hmm. And over the last few years there's been so many new entrants in the market, everybody tries to make a little bit of money, and so it turned out that to make a little bit of money, people have not always played by the same transparent rules that the advertisers were expecting. So if you're expecting to pay 10 euros as Unilever to the Daily Telegraph, then you would expect that the intermediate technology partners are not sort of secretly getting €5 out of that 10 for themselves. But that happened in the past, and I think it's changing, but it's still a worrisome part of transparency. So publishers, advertisers, and everybody with a long-term view in our market, including us, are working really hard to make sure that those kinds of business models become increasingly impossible. In the end, as an advertiser, if someone tells you this is secure inventory and we don't run a transparent business or a secret business model, or intransparent business model is a better word, then you would still have to believe that person on his word. While if, as a publisher or provider of technologies, you start sharing all of the data that you have, everything that happened, what happened in auctions, what happened on my website, where was your ad, how much of the time was it seen. If you share all of that data, then your clients have better proof of whether that's actually happening right or wrong, and they can start learning themselves as to what things work, what things don't work, where to be and where not to be. So I think in a transparent world, you're also opening up your data to your clients to make sure that they can learn and improve themselves as much as they can. Yeah, so first we run major programmatic advertising across Europe. Where we do have an office in Spain, and a lot of our people in Spain help many other markets as well. Mm-hmm. The entry in the Spanish market is something that we're doing with partners. So we're currently working with a lot of partners in Spain to get traction into the market. It's new for us, but we're certainly going to try and make sure that in 2018 we have a big presence in a very interesting market for us. We sort of follow the maturity. So now that Spain gets an increasingly mature profile on digital and programmatic, I think it's time for us to start offering our services to Spanish publishers and to make sure that they can sort of use all of the technologies that we have to maximize their income as well. Yeah, so for us it's super important to invite everybody we know, and whether they're already clients or whether they're prospects, to get them in and give them a little bit more of a relaxed environment to discuss business with us. Otherwise it becomes very clean meeting rooms in corporate offices, and now we have the opportunity to talk business, but at the same time do it in a little bit more relaxed environment. And you see all of the halls here basically representing the same thing. Some people might say, well, this is, you know, it's getting more crowded every year. I've been doing this for ages, but is this still necessary? But I think it's very good to see everybody here coming together, talking to each other, and having a nice drink or a coffee. And so yeah, for me, it's exactly what we need. Well, I think you can't get around DMEXCO if you're German, so then you have to be here. And since we have an office here as well, yes, that's important for us. But at the same time, if you're in the UK, actually even over the last few years, all the American companies have come here. AppNexus, Google, wherever you look, the big global players are here as well. So I think DMEXCO has, for a while now, established itself as one of those moments in the year where the entire AdTech world is coming together. So I wouldn't say it's a German thing. It's actually become a very broad and well-renowned conference. So yeah, well done by DMEXCO.